Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Everyone, much louder. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev. Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Yuga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan ki. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for being here to hear and chant about the Supreme Lord, primarily Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also called as the Yuga Avatar for this age. Every age has a particular form of the Lord who has advented. In the age of Satya Yuga, we have Sri Nrsimhadev who comes down. In Treta Yuga, we have Maryada Purushottam Sri Ramachandra comes down. In Dwapar Yuga, Sri Krishna Bhagavan comes down. And likewise in Kali Yuga, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Sri Sachinandan Gauranga Mahaprabhu. He's called Sachinandan because he's the son of Mother Sachi. Actually, our Acharyas explain that Krishna likes when he's addressed in connection or in relation to his devotees. If someone says Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is great, it is good, but when someone says Sachinandan, Krishna likes it or Mahaprabhu likes it even more because now he's addressed in connection to his devotee. Krishna, great. Yashodanandan, even better. Devakinandan, even better. तो भगवान भक्त के प्रेम के इतने भूखे हैं कि अपना नाम यदि कोई ले तो ठीक है, लेकिन यदि भक्त के संबंध में ले तो प्रभु को और पसंद है. So whenever we call out to the Lord, also we call out in connection to some devotee. Whenever we speak about Nrsimhadev, we see another maybe 20 days from now, maybe a month from now, we're going to celebrate Shri Nrsimha Chaturdashi. We'll be fortunate because His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu will be there that time, on the day of Nrsimha Chaturdashi here. So whenever we speak about Nrsimha Chaturdashi, we speak about प्रहलाद महाराज. जब नरसिंहदेव की बात आती है तो स्टोरी खत्म नहीं होता जब तक प्रहलाद जी के हम चर्चा ना करें, राइट? When we speak about Narayan, we have to speak about Lakshmi ji. When we speak about Krishna of Dwaraka, we have to speak about Rukmini, Satyabhama, etc. When we speak about Krishna of Vrindavan, we have to speak about the gopis of Vrindavan, we have to speak about the friends of Vrindavan. When we speak of the parents of the Supreme Lord, we have to speak of Nanda and Yashoda. So, any pastime we find, whenever we address the Lord, it is always in connection to a devotee. So, Krishna likes, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu likes when he is called Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya, Sri Chaitanya, but he likes it even more when it is Sachinandan. So, Sri Sachinandan Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki. Yeah. So, we have been discussing about the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. I don't know how many have been there in the discussions. Many faces seem familiar. I see some new faces also. If you don't mind, could you just put your hand up so I know who's coming here for the first time and has not been part of our Adi Leela? 1, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, यहाँ तो अपना ही crowd है. यहाँ टॉपर है वो. अच्छा वो. सब लोग एलिवेटेड है उधर. देखो चैतन्य चरितामृत सुनते सुनते सब एलिवेशन की तरफ. हाँ यहाँ भी बैठ सकते हैं, लेकिन वहां से मेरा सिर ही दिखेगा पीछे से. You will not be able to see anything. I think there's some space here. If you want, you can definitely sit here. I don't think anyone. हाँ आप भी आ सकते हैं प्रभु जी. वो माता जी को भगा कर वो वही बैठे. नहीं मैं ऊपर नहीं चढ़ के बैठा था. देखो सबसे नीचे वाली जगह पे बैठा हूँ. No elevation. So, for those who are here for the first time, is it the first satsang that you're attending, or is it the first time you're seeing me?
First time seeing you.
Okay, you've been here for the classes. Yes. Everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, the reason I'm asking is so that I know where the audience is coming from, because sometimes it so happens that if it's the first time, and if I end up speaking something, then there's no frame of reference. So it's good as a speaker, I understand where my audience are. So at least 90% have been part of our discussions on the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. In a nutshell, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is nothing but it is the life epic, the book that glorifies Sri Chaitanya, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not different from Krishna. राधा कृष्ण ऐच्छे सदा एक ही स्वरूप, लीला रस आस्वादित धरि दुई रूप. Radha and Krishna are eternally one. Radha Krishna ऐच्छे सदा एक ही स्वरूप. So I will speak a little Hindi also in between, because I personally prefer more of Hindi. So I feel शास्त्र का जो मिठास है ये अंग्रेजी में थोड़ा कम होता है और हिंदी में अधिक होता है. जो when you present the same thing in English, there may or may not be equal in words, but in Hindi you have equal in words, or words that convey the same meaning much better. Right? So Radha and Krishna are eternally one form. Radha Krishna ऐच्छे सदा एक ही स्वरूप है, but लीला रस आस्वादित धरि दोई रूप. That one becomes two. Why? To experience लीला. जब एक ही व्यक्ति हो, मान लीजिए स्कूल है, if it's a school, and if there is only one teacher, no students, no principal, nothing, only one teacher, मजा ही नहीं है. It's boring, right? If it's only students and no teacher, for the students it is maja. For the students it is maja, but that school will not go any far ahead. वो school को उधर ही गौर प्रेमानंद हो जाएगा. So you need students also, you need teachers also, you need principals also. Why? Everyone adds some variety, right? In a household also, अगर घर है, you have husband, you have wife, and both add some spice in each other's life. You all know it better. And अगर वो थोड़ा कमी पड़ रहा है तो then you have kids, more spice to your life. Right? So you need some थोड़ा मिठास चाहिए. different people add different variety. The same holds true for the Supreme Lord also. When he has to perform a pastime, जब भगवान को लीला करना है, अब अकेले तो सक्षम है, अकेले तो कर सकते हैं. ऐसा नहीं कि भगवान अकेले नहीं कर सकते. जब भगवान गोवर्धन पर्वत उठा सकते हैं तो अकेले तो सब कुछ कर सकते हैं. जब सृष्टि की रचना अकेले कर सकते हैं तो लीला करने की कौन सी बड़ी बात है. He can definitely do it. But there is more sweetness when there are two people. When that two becomes three, three becomes four, four becomes five. There is more sweetness. So Leela Ras Aswadite, to taste the sweetness of Leela, Dhari Doi Rup, that one becomes two. So in Satya Yuga, you find is Narsinghadev, and in Treta you have Sri Ram, then you have in Dwapar Krishna, that Krishna who's the origin becomes two, that is Radha and Krishna. And the spiritual map doesn't end here. One becomes two in Dwapar, that two becomes again one in Kali as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? Because who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Combination of Radha and Krishna. But it doesn't even end here. The one in Dwapar becomes two as Radha Krishna, who again combine as one as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who again expands as five as Panchatattva. It doesn't end. So those who are feminine in Krishna Lila become masculine in Gaura Lila. Those who are the gopis of Vrindavan end up becoming Swarup Damodar and Raya Ramananda and so on and so forth. And we will see more of that in the Madhya Lila. So, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is nothing but a magnum opus that glorifies Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who is not different from Krishna. Srila Narottam Das Thakur explains, Chaitanya Charit Krishnadas Kaviraj Rasika Bhakta Maj Jeho Kaila Chaitanya Charit Gaur Govinda Lila Shunite Galay Shila Tahate Na Hoy Morachit. In a book called as Prem Bhakti Chandrika. What is Prem Bhakti Chandrika? Prem means love, Bhakti means bhakti, that we are aspiring for, and Chandrika ka arthat moonbeams. Moonbeams. So Prem Bhakti Chandrika, that book that illuminates the reader with cooling moonbeams like Prema Bhakti. Prema Bhakti Chandrika. What is that one song that we sing every day? That is from Prema Bhakti Chandrika. एक ऐसा सॉन्ग है जो सुबह गाते हैं अगर हम मंदिर जाए तो. नो, वी आर क्लोज. मॉर्निंग में क्या क्या गाते हैं? लेट्स स्टार्ट फ्रॉम देयर. हाँ, सबसे पहले उठना होता है मॉर्निंग में. लेट्स स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द बेसिक्स. फर्स्ट यू हैव टू गेट अप. Only if you get up is the question of singing songs. So first we get up, then Samsara Dava. No. I mean, yes, we sing it, but that's not from Prema Bhakti Chandrika. What else do we sing? Narsim Arti, Tulsi Arti. Vrindavan mein. We sing all of that, but again, that is not from Prema Bhakti Chandrika. What else do we sing in the morning? Okay, now we are a little more close. In that time frame, what is the another thing that we sing? That is Mayapur mein. What is that one thing that we sing for our
Guru Pranam?
For our Gurudev? पूरा जगत घूम लिया अपने गुरुदेव को भूल गए. Shri Guru Puja. Guru Puja that we sing in the morning and sometimes during the Vyas Puja time also, that is coming from Prema Bhakti Chandrika. That is written by Srila Narottam Das Thakur. So Narottam Das Thakur, in that he writes, Narottam Das Thakur is such a personality who didn't meet anyone. So he would always will imagine you're born at a time when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has just left this world. जो स्वयं भगवान है, जो राधा और कृष्ण के स्वरूप है, जो इस जगत में नमो महावदन्याय बनकर आए, who came down to give love of God, and he gave it to everyone. And what is your misfortune? You appeared just a few years after he departed. How painful it will be. Imagine Gauranga Mahaprabhu appeared in Bothell. And you had never heard about Bothell. And when you came to Bothell and bought a house, you got to know that Bhagavan स्वयं यहाँ रहते थे, कुछ साल पहले यहाँ से निकले. Little painful. थोड़ा पेन होगा. हाँ कि ना? थोड़ा तो पेन होना चाहिए.
प्रभु पे खुश हो जाएंगे. भगवान यार खुश
तो होना ही. We definitely should be happy, but there will be some little disappointment also that I could have also met him, everyone met. Okay, let me put it this way. Now this will be more relatable. Imagine Mahaprabhu appeared in Bothell. Every devotee saw Mahaprabhu, took association from him, took Diksha from him, and got Krishna also, except you. थोड़ा एग्जाम्पल रिफ्रेश करना पड़ा. Now it's relatable.
उसमें तो सबको ले लिखे ना, इसमें तो हमें ही नहीं मिला.
माता जी अब एग्जाम्पल समझ. It will be painful, right? If everyone saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone got. It will be. हमने. What wrong did I do? Narottam Das Thakur, for him it was exactly similar. Srila Narottam Das Thakur appeared just after Mahaprabhu departed. Everyone saw Mahaprabhu except Srila Narottam Das Thakur. And ऐसे नहीं कि कोई छोटे मोटे भक्त है, बहुत बड़े वरिष्ठ साधु है, very advanced sadhu. So Narottam Das Thakur, you find all his songs or majority of his songs will be in the mood of separation. विरह के भाव में होगा. One popular song that we sing. One popular song that we sing which is in viraha, in separation. When one Vaishnav departs this world. Jai Anilo Premadhana, which is again by Narottam Das Thakur. If you analyze that song, every verse of that is just where is this personality, where is that personality, where is this personality, where is that personality. Whole song. Where is Swarup Damodar, where is Raya Ramananda, where is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, where is Gauranga Mahaprabhu, where is Nitai, where is everyone? Where did all the Vaishnavas go? And then he says, Pashane ko debo matha, anale pashibo, Gauranga gunera nidhi kotha gele pavo. Srila Narottam Das Thakur says, Pashane kudibo matha. I feel like banging my head against a pashan, means stone. Anale pashibo. Anala means fire. I feel like entering fire. What wrong did I do that everyone saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, only I was left out? What offense, ऐसा कौन सा offense मैंने कर दिया था? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt that I was not appropriate to be born at a time when everyone else is born. Gauranga Gunera Nidhi Kotha Gele Pavo. Where should I go? Where should I hit my head? Which fire should I enter? Why is it that only I didn't see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So every song Narottam Das Thakur that we see is just begging and crying and crying and crying and crying. Srila Narottam Das Thakur is again fortunate for the fact that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yes, left this world, but gave his love. He invested his love in a river called as Padma. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu invested his love for Narottam Das Thakur in a river called as Padma. And when Narottam Das Thakur took bath in that river after he appeared, Narottam Das Thakur came out not just as golden in color, but was so much surcharged with madness for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that all that he could see is just Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So that Narottam Das Thakur, he writes in his Prem Bhakti Chandrika, he says, Krishna Dasa Kaviraja. Krishna Das Kaviraj. Who is Krishna Das Kaviraj? The author. हाँ इतना याद है. Because थोड़ा time हो गया. When was the last time we met?
March 7.
March 7. Today is what? April 11th. 1 month. Don't worry, we will have some time for recap. Recap is important. When we start the recap, then दूध का दूध पानी का पानी. How much we remember. So Narottam Das Thakur says, Krishnadas Kaviraj Rasika Bhakta Moj. Who is Krishnadas Kaviraj? Rasika Bhakta Moj. In the society of devotees, he is the Rasik Bhakta. That personality who is dipped in sweetness for Radha and Krishna. Like you have a gulab jamun. If a gulab jamun is just there without the syrup, मजा आएगा? शायद थोड़ा मजा आएगा, उतना नहीं आएगा. Our devotees are so adjusting, however you give, they will take it. प्रभु जी गुलाब जामुन से मतलब है, आप खिलाओ प्रभु जी, हम खा लेंगे. So gulab jamun, yeah, maybe tasty, but when imagine it's dipped in nice syrup and then it's presented. And so much so that you squeeze it, there's nice gulab jamun syrup. आया मुंह में पानी. That's the gulab jamun we know. Huh?
So Diksha is saying that it has to be vegan also.
So gulab jamun is tasty, but when it's dipped in that syrup and then when it's presented so much so that you squeeze it, you get that syrup. Then there's more sweetness to it. Similarly, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is that personality who, when you squeeze him, all that comes out is sweetness for Radha and Krishna. Which means bhakti that's there inside is what will come out. Like for example, if you have a mango, you squeeze a mango, what comes out? Mango. Mango juice, maybe. You squeeze an orange, what comes out? Orange juice. When was the last time you saw you squeeze a mango and orange juice came out? Doesn't happen, right? And does it happen the other way that you squeeze an orange and a mango juice comes out? अर्थात जो अंदर है वही बाहर निकलता है. Similarly, when life squeezes and punches us, what's there inside is what will come outside. When life puts us in challenging situations, if there is no sufficient advancement in Krishna consciousness, bhakti will not come out. Why is it that Prahlad Maharaj could remember Krishna or Vishnu at all times when life punctured and powdered him? Because there is bhakti inside. भक्ति का प्रदर्शन कितना भी हम बाहर कर सकते हैं, लेकिन जब ऐसा समय आता है जीवन में जहां वास्तव में दिखाना पड़ता है, that time what's there inside is what will come out. So this is why Srila Prabhupada would say, at a time when life squeezes us, which is death, the ultimate form of squeezing, if we have not performed enough Krishna consciousness in our life, it's very difficult to remember Krishna at a time of death. And on the flip side, if we have done bhakti throughout, then Krishna, he gives a promise. Krishna gives a promise that at the time of departure, if a devotee is not able to remember me, but if he has done bhakti throughout, aham smarami mad bhakta, I come in front of that devotee and help him remember me, even if he forgets. So there's everything to gain by practicing Krishna consciousness. So Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is that personality who, when you squeeze, only sweetness of Krishna consciousness comes out. Krishna Das Kaviraj Rasika Bhakta Moj Jeho Kaila Chaitanya Charit. He has written Chaitanya Charit. Gaur Govinda Leela. There are two prominent books that Kaviraj Goswami wrote. First, Gaur, that is Gaur Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Second, Govinda Leela, Govinda Leelamrita. Huh? Both are Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, correct. Gaur Govinda Leela, Shunite Galay Shila. Narottam Das Thakur says, if anyone hears about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaur Leela, or Govinda Leelamrit, Shunite Galay Shila, yadi Shila bhi ho, even if it's a stone, Galay, it will also melt. The power of hearing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so much that even if it's a stone, that stone will melt. But Narottam Das Thakur says, Tahate na hoye mora chit. But still my heart is not melting. Even a stone will melt hearing Gaur Leela, but Durdaivam Idrisha, Iha Janina Anuraga. Even a stone is melting, but hi, my heart is not melting. How fallen I am. Who is saying Narottam Das Thakur? So now we can... Adi Leela to sun liya hum. Did the heart melt? It's something for self-introspection. So that's the standard of Chaitanya Charitamrita. That Narottam Das Thakur feels even a stone will melt. And it is true because when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing in the Jarikhanda forest, which we will see in the Madhya Leela, stones melted. Stones melted. The animals were dancing. When was the last time you saw a tiger and deer embracing each other and chanting Gaur Premanande? They were all dancing. The stones were melting. So that's the proof that by hearing about Gauranga Mahaprabhu, even a stone would melt. His Holiness Indradyumna Swami Maharaj, when he came to ISP a few years back, he was sharing that he went to that same forest where Mahaprabhu danced with the animals. And he was saying, even now that you see, you still find the lotus feet imprints of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You still find the imprints of the foot of an elephant. You still find the imprints of a snake. Exact place where Mahaprabhu danced. Indradumna Maharaj was saying the presence of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so strong that even the stones melted. But our heart is not melting. So, it's not something to scare, but it's something to self-introspect that this is the standard of what Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has given us. So that's a small, but a decent introduction to whatever we have done in the last maybe 7, 8 or 10 classes. I don't know how many, 10 classes, around 10 classes for Adi Leela. Before we go on to Madhya Leela, let's follow our protocol of saying how much we remember or how much we can help each other remember from whatever we have discussed from the Adi Leela. Don't worry, I'm not going to pick on anyone. But whatever you feel inspired, if it can be in an order, great. If not, that is also fine. It's just to help each other and familiarize each other as to whatever we have discussed in the first part of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life, that is the Adi Leela. Okay, let's start. Who wants to go? Maybe we can start with the Prabhujis, because normally the Matajis go.
We have the habit of listening, Prabhu.
प्रभु जी घर की बात यहाँ नहीं बोलनी थी. आपका तो शादी हुआ ही नहीं प्रभु जी. हो गया?
12 साल 2 बच्चे हैं प्रभु जी.
Oh really?
12 साल
Growing my hair just to show I am old.
I have not seen you with your family. That's why I'm waiting.
फैमिली 2 बच्चे हैं उनके.
तो आपको तो ज्यादा रियलाइजेशन है.
हर तरह की स्पाइस.
हाँ?
उनके जीवन में हर तरह की स्पाइस है.
I think we can start before.
आप सोच समझ के बोलिए. Your daughter is sitting here only.
वो तो प्रभु उसने आपका ही लेक्चर सुन लिया. जब स्पाइस बोल रहे थे वो मेरे को ही देख रही थी.
ठीक है, let's start. Whoever remembers whatever.
I think we can start before they cover the ground.
इतना confidence है. Yes.
We don't have anything to yeah, that's what. I think one thing that I took away from Adi Leela is how much similarity is there in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Bal Leela with Krishna's Bal Leela pastime. I think there was an incident when like Krishna kicked a cart by his feet. I think there's a similar thing in this pastime. The way Krishna used to walk, right? There's a similar pastime in this. So I wasn't aware of like that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had similar pastimes.
Lot of similarity. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj would say, Krishna Leela is Gaur Leela, Gaur Leela is Krishna Leela. Yes, thank you, Prabhu. What else?
I think it started at the bank of Yamuna when everyone requested Krishnadas Kaviraj. No, when Krishnadas Kaviraj, when who was reciting Gaur Leela, Raghunath Das Goswami was reciting Gaur Leela and Krishnadas Kaviraj Swami was there, and then he gave him the instruction. No, when the Vrindavan Vasi asked him to write about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he went to Madan Mohan temple where he was blessed that he can write. Otherwise, he was like, "How will I write? My eyes are weak, my hands tremble. How will I write?"
Right. The Brajavasis inspired him, and he heard it from Raghunath Das Goswami. He was reluctant to write, but when he went to Madan Mohan, the garland of Madan Mohan fell. That was an indication for Kaviraj Goswami to write the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay. Back to the Prabhujis. Anyone wants to add? Whatever you remember.
In the end, Mahaprabhu decided to take sannyas.
Fast
इतना भी ऑर्डर ये नहीं कर रहा था मुझे. So he started with Nimai's childhood pastime, and Prabhuji's wife, she said नहीं नहीं वो author बने थे. Next क्या हुआ? संन्यास ले लिया प्रभु जी, खत्म हो गया.
The end.
I'm helping you. Now, doctor.
I like this kind of reminds me when I was small. You know, sometimes parents they tell stories to their children, bedtime stories, and I was probably very small, so my father doesn't know much stories, but my mother has given him the task of sharing some stories, so now he cannot back out. So he would tell me a very weird, lame story, which kind of connects to this. He would say, because we started and very soon the discussion ended here. So he would say something like, once upon a time there was a dog. So I would say, okay, the dog's name was Rover. So, okay, and the story is over. I was like, okay, कुछ जल्दी खत्म हो गया. So I have forgotten this story. But all glories to Nilachal Chandra Prabhu for taking me back to my बचपन के दिन. तो संन्यास लेंगे, थोड़ा संन्यास के लिए हम तो पॉज देते, बाकी भी बहुत सारे, अरे 10 क्लास किए थे. 13 classes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So when once Keshava Kashmiri, one of the Digvijay Pandit, the one who conquered 4 directions, all the directions, in terms of scholarship, he once comes to Navadip because he hears that there is a great scholar, Chaitanya Nimai Pandit, and he wanted to, have a debate with him and also get the title of being a Digvijay Pandit. But because Chaitanya Nimai Pandit is Krishna himself, then he will come to the banks of Ganga and.
Okay, quick question for someone else. Keshav Kashmiri wrote 100 verses. What was the theme? On what did he write?
Praise of Ganga ji.
Praise of Ganga, yes. Okay.
Yeah. So when they come to the bank of Ganga, there Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was teaching to the students, and Keshav Kashmiri comes and Keshav Kashmiri is asked to recite.
He recites 100 verses. Mahaprabhu finds fault.
Finds faults, and the conversation goes in which Keshav Kashmiri feels defeated that I couldn't stand in front of the scholarship of this boy.
Saraswati comes in a dream and reveals that he is Bhagavan himself. Yes, Keshav Kashmiri. Yes, what else?
We discussed about the Mahaprakash Leela,
The
where
children, would it be possible if they can be a little quieter? Yes, Mataji, sorry.
so he called all his devotees one by one. He just wanted to thank them. He called Murari Gupta.
Mahaprakash Leela.
Yes.
Yes.
And then he called Kola Vechashirdhar. And he asked Kola Vecha, like, what do you want? Like, I have been asking you, taking discount from you, taking your banana, everything, all that. So Kola Vecha said, I just want life after life. I just want to see you every day, arguing with me, and your curly hair. I just want to see like more like face.
Wonderful.
Everything.
So Mahaprakash Leela. Yes, what else? What else? Yes.
We talked about, I don't remember the name, but someone did an offense of leaving
Yes.
outside of
Gopal Chapel.
Gopal Chapel.
To Srivas Thakur.
Srivas Thakur.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got really angry and was he a leper?
Leprosy.
He had leprosy, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that you would only get forgiven me. So my hair got the
You go back to Srivas Thakur. Yes, wonderful. The pastime of Srivas and Gopal Chapel.
We also
Yes.
Jagai Madai Leela also.
Jagai Madai.
We discussed
Yeah.
about it.
Jagai Madai pastime. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, so we discussed one of the internal reasons of appearance to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we discussed in detail about the pastime, with Radharani and
The first class.
Chandravali.
Chandravali. Thank you. The first class that we discussed about Srimati Radharani and Chandravali. Yes. What else?
During one of those leelas, one of the nice one was also, or memorable one also was, in one of his leelas, he I mean, they are going back and forth between Krishna Roop and Chaitanya Roop, where they were playing hide and
Correct.
seek,
Yeah.
and आँख मिचौली खेलते हुए one of their friends
Sridham and Abhiram Thakur pastime.
हाँ, so
Correct.
everybody is here, but where is Sridham?
Yeah.
And then go call Sridham. So Balram goes and they call Sridham and says he comes over, but then he is very sad that आप सब यहाँ पर आ गए, मेरे को नहीं लेकर आए, you left me, you forgot me.
So then Sridham basically comes as Abhiram Thakur in Gaur Leela. Perfect.
And he
So
gets a gem
Abhiram
on
Thakur
this.
does not have any mention before this Leela, and this is where Abhiram Thakur comes into being and becomes part of Chaitanya.
Perfect. Thank you.
Chaitanya
Yes.
Prabhu, when he was a small child exhibiting the Krishna Leela, like Prabhu was saying, there was a visit of the Brahmana to Jagannath Mishra's home, and and he has to offer because he personally cooks and offers to the deity, and every time he offers the boga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come and eat
Nimai.
it. Nimai Pandit. Then say, why are you eating? You are only calling me. So, so that's another
Right.
pastime, like thief trying to steal Nimai Pandit
Ha.
and goes around and
And
then
comes
comes
back
back
to-
to the same home.
Perfect. Perfect.
Exactly. It's the same time pastime how Krishna used to steal stuff from the gopis. Mahaprabhu used to steal paraphernalia of the girls, young girls who were doing the worship of Shiva, and he will take, oh, you will get this bad old husband. If you will not worship me, you will get this sick husband, and out of the fear, they will give him offer him everything.
Right.
And then,
This is Bodhayanta Parasparam. When Krishna says Bodhayanta Parasparam, it's devotees coming together and discussing and hearing and speaking about Krishna. So this is the true form of Bodhayanta Parasparam, where one devotee is speaking, then another devotee is adding to it, another devotee is adding to it, goes back and forth. Otherwise, what happens when there is nothing to add, we come together and all that we discuss is Trump increased the tariff. Stock market ghir gaya, Prabhuji. That is what we will discuss. When there is no sufficient hearing of Krishna Katha, it is very difficult to give out Krishna Katha. But when we are constantly hearing, devotees means coming together and speaking and hearing about Krishna. Because non-Krishna conscious thing we are anyway discussing, maybe at our workplace or any other thing. वहाँ तो भक्ति नहीं कर सकते because there is limitations. But at least in situations, circumstances when we come to our temple, Sunday feast, etc., as much as possible we should hear and speak about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
So there was also like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was doing Nagar Sankirtan, and there was a ruler that time who was
Chand Kazi, yes.
And then he, in his dream, he came as a nursing there and
Yes.
cared him, and then
Perfect. We spoke about the pastime of Chand Kazi and how Mahaprabhu again re-inaugurates the Harinam Sankirtan. Yes.
Didn't the barber who cut Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's hair like thought he did something so like he cut the sweetness and
Right.
it became a sweet?
Yes.
Yeah.
We also
After
spoke about that.
shaving his head.
So the barber Madhu becomes the sweet seller, as told by Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj. So we discussed that. Yes, what else? Someone else who was not. Anyone who is not and wants to add. Mataji, yes.
Grita Sneha and
Grita Sneha and Madhu Sneha. First class we discussed Radharani's love for Krishna is Madhu Sneha and Chandravali's love for Krishna is Grita Sneha, honey and ghee. Yeah, first class.
Yeah.
Satya Yoga. Long, it seems like long time back. Yes. What else? I think someone put there.
Yeah.
In one of the, I guess it was in the 6th or 7th class, जब चैतन्य महाप्रभु still, उन्होंने travel करना शुरू नहीं किया, but before he travels and everything, he's trying to set things in place, and he's sending his devotees and close associates to different places and be there, so that when he comes, things are there in place, and including Kashi and Vrindavan and everywhere else.
Right. Mahaprabhu sending his associates to different places before he comes. Yes. You want to add?
So yeah, in Srivas Angan once when they were doing kirtan, Mahaprabhu put seed, mango seed, and it immediately came into tree, and lot of mangoes was there without skin and without seed. and they were very sweet, and as the Krishna's pastime. So
The mango pastime.
mango pastime.
After the Nam Sankirtan, devotees were tired. Mahaprabhu puts a seed and there's a mango tree. Interestingly, he puts a seed, there's a mango tree, mango fruits are there but no seeds.
You said 500, right?
200.
200 or 500
At
mango.
the time, 200.
Okay, 200.
Kya mangoes?
Yeah, you told the number as well.
Acha, pata nahi, usme jo hoga, I would have said, I don't remember those details of that. Okay, one last question. Who remembers why Mahaprabhu took sannyas? What was the last instance, the last pastime? I am not going to see that side. देखो घोड़े को ऐसा blinder लगाते हैं. What was the last reason or the pastime with which Adi Leela end as to why did Gauranga Mahaprabhu take sannyas? What was that instance that triggered his acceptance of sannyas?
Don't exactly remember.
ये तो आपका pastime है प्रभु जी.
No.
Sannyas.
I don't remember, but I think he saw.
Gopi.
Okay, maybe I'm on the wrong path. I thought it's because he thought by taking sannyas he will be more effective in the teachings.
That is true.
Teachings.
That is true. Because sannyas ashram commands respect. So naturally you see if a sannyasi walks in, there's naturally more respect and they can preach to every section of the society. That's one. हाँ, anyone else? Hint इधर से आ गया था.
गोपी वाला है.
हाँ जी, शिवम प्रभु. अरे सब गोपी कर रहे हैं. कोई बाहर से आएगा बोलेगा अरे यहाँ सब साजिया बैठे हैं. सब गोपी कर रहे हैं.
Some devotees they like started. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in his deep meditation on gopis, he was chanting the name of gopis, but devotees misunderstood him and disrespected him, like you are, like not chanting Krishna's name and all that. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said like, I should take sannyas, otherwise people will not respect me and this is what I feel.
There was two reasons that Prabhuji said. Once, like for Danda, the people will take him seriously. Also, it will fulfill the curse of the Brahman.
No.
Brahman
curse.
Why did he curse Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
Because he was not allowed inside the.
to enter the Srivasa.
He snapped his hair.
So you should be bereft of all material things. So he just wanted to fulfill that.
Does everyone remember that first time? That was one instance, and of course, to have more opportunities for preaching as far as society is concerned. ठीक है. Anything else anyone wants to add?
You also told a lot about Indra Prabhu that day last time.
हाँ, वो तो
Indra Prabhu.
it's a parallel thing.
Yeah.
Anything about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that
उन्होंने when श्राद्ध चल रहा था श्रीवास ठाकुर के
हाँ.
तो उन्होंने नरसिम्हा की फॉर्म लिया था because he asked him to say 1000 names of Vishnu Sahasranam. So when the Narsimha name came, he took the form of Narsim and with clubs and that 16 arms, he just went outside and all the people were scared of him.
Yeah, we spoke about the Shraddh ceremony and how Mahaprabhu takes the form of
Narsimha.
Shri Nrsimha. ठीक है. That's a good recap. Very good recap of the Adi Leela. We should be very proud of ourselves because it's 1 month gap, but still we were able to remember as much as possible. So now it's about 8:40, nearing 8:40. So we will see. We'll try to discuss little of Madhya Leela and try to continue from where we left off or where the Adi Leela ended. We see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life is divided into 3 sections. Of the 48 years that Mahaprabhu lived in this world, the first 24 years is the Adi Leela, the first part of Mahaprabhu's life. At the age of 24, when Mahaprabhu accepts sannyas, during the Magh Mas, which is during January and February time. At 24, when Mahaprabhu accepts sannyas, from the age of 24 to 30, Mahaprabhu is traveling to different places. Mahaprabhu goes to South India Yatra. He meets Ramananda Rai, He goes to Prayag, Varanasi, meets Rupa and Sanatan, converts a Mayavadi by the name Prakashananda Saraswati and his 60,000 disciples. Even though it's only 6 years of Mahaprabhu's life, which is from the age of 24 to 30, it forms the most voluminous part of Chaitanya Charitamrita. The first 24 years is Adi Lila, but more content is there in Madhya Lila, even though it's only 6 years of Mahaprabhu's life. Why? Because there is a lot of philosophical discussions, confrontations, transformations, meeting different associations, different nook and corners of India. And as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is traveling this way till the age of 30, at the age of 30, Mahaprabhu comes to Jagannath Puri to keep Jagannath Puri as his base. From the age of 30 to the age of 36, Mahaprabhu is there in Jagannath Puri but is traveling inside of Jagannath Puri. And from the age of 36 to 48, Mahaprabhu is there in Jagannath Puri but is not even traveling anywhere inside Jagannath Puri. He is stationed at one place called as the Gambhira, the house of Kashi Mishra. So the first 24 years we find are more fun-filled, playing around and things like that. And in the fag end of 24 is when he meets his Gurudev, there's a transformation, acceptance of sannyas. Prior to that, the marriage. He gets married, he has Lakshmi Priya, Vishnu Priya, etc. And then he takes sannyas. And then 24 to 48 is when the complete switch happens. From a boy who would make fun, be frivolous, etc. to someone who is now crying and crying and crying for Srimati Radharani. So this Madhya Lila, from age of 24 to the age of 30, and the Anti Lila is 30 to 48. So last 18 years forms the Anti Lila, first 24 years form the Adi Lila, and beech ka 6 saal is the Madhya Lila. So that's the split. And even though it's 6 years, as I said, it's the most voluminous of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Even in a summary study like this, it starts at page number 65 and it goes all the way till 195. So even in a summary study, it's like 130 pages, which is quite a lot. So I don't know how many classes it will take. Because I remember in the Adi Lila, we would say 1 class more, 2 classes more, etc.
We don't have Ravi Ganta.
He is not there. I thought of him, but I couldn't find it over there. But this will be a long, very long narration. But we will see. Not thinking of the end, jitna ho sake, we will try to touch upon. The Madhya Lila describes the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities in the first 6 years of his acceptance of sannyas. In this period, he extensively travels and gives his darshan, naam and prem to people of different parts of India. At the request of Mother Sachi, he makes Jagannath Puri his headquarters and later tours South India. Actually, Sachi Mata, after Mahaprabhu took sannyas, Sachi Mata requested Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be in Jagannath Puri. Mahaprabhu wanted his base to be Vrindavan. But Sachi Mata told him, why don't you be in Jagannath Puri? Why? Because Navadvip, where Sachi Mata lived, and Jagannath Puri are very close. It's like 2 rooms of the same house. So people keep coming back and forth. So Sachi Mata thought to herself, even after you have taken sannyas, there is no phone, there's no email, there's nothing. But people who go to Jagannath Puri will also come back to Navadvip, and what you're doing there, I will get the message. But if you go to Vrindavan, I have this fear that people may not come back and forth from Navadvip to Vrindavan. So I may not know what my Nima is doing. So mother's love. Even the child has taken sannyas, but Maka Prem hai. So Sachi Mata says, you want to live in Dham, Jagannath Puri is also Dham, why don't you stay here, because at least I will know what you are up to. And Mahaprabhu accepts. So even though he wanted to live in Vrindavan, on the request of Mother Sachi, he starts living in Jagannath Puri. So Jagannath Puri becomes his base. His eventful tour is filled with exciting conversations, philosophical confrontations, and is empowering people with Krishna Prem. Later, he exhibits unparalleled love for Krishna in the mode of Srimati Radharani during the Jagannath Rath Yatra. Out of intense love for him, his loving devotees wouldn't allow him to go to Vrindavan. But finally, he fulfills his long cherished desire to see Sri Vrindavan Dham. On his way, he gives his divine teachings on the science of Bhakti Yoga to Rup Goswami at Prayag and Sanatan Goswami at Varanasi, and transforms a staunch Mayavadi sannyasi by the name Prakashananda Saraswati and his followers. The Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, we find that there are 5 most important topics of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Just like this human body is there, and in Ayurveda there is something called as Pancha Pran. Pancha Pran, 5 life airs of human body. Similarly, the Srimad Bhagavatam, if Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam has 5 life airs. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Charitamrita also has 5 life airs. In the sense, there are 5 most important chapters in that whole text. In Srimad Bhagavatam, we have Venu Geet, we have Gopi Geet, we have Brahmar Geet, we have Yugal Geet, we have Pranay Geet. 5 life airs of Srimad Bhagavatam, which are the most important sections of the whole of Srimad Bhagavatam. And in that 5 chapters also, there is one chapter which is the crest jewel of all the 331 chapters of Bhagavatam, which is Canto 10, Chapter 31, the Gopi Gita. Similarly, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are 5 life airs, in the sense 5 most important chapters, which is the essence of the whole of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Of the 5, 4 of them are found in Madhya Lila. So we can imagine how important this section is. 1, Mahaprabhu's teachings to Ramananda Rai, Madhya Lila chapter 8, Rai Ramananda Samvad, which forms the essence of whole Krishna consciousness. This Rai Ramananda Samvad is such, every Siddhanta of Krishna consciousness is found in this conversation of Ramananda Rai. Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati Kiyatam Yadi Kutopi Labhyate. Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai, when they're conversing, this verse comes and it says Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati. Krishna Bhakti, devotion unto Krishna, Rasa Bhavita Mati. The mind or consciousness is absorbed in Krishna Bhakti Ras. This is where Prabhupada takes Krishna consciousness, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. This word Krishna consciousness comes from this word, verse of Rai Ramananda Samvad, where Ramananda Rai is saying Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati. The Mati is dipped in Krishna Bhakti Rasa, which means the consciousness is dipped in Krishna. Krishna consciousness. It comes from this section of the Madhya Lila, chapter 8 of Rai Ramananda Samvad. So that's the first. Second, Madhya Lila chapter 19, Rup Siksha, Mahaprabhu's teachings to Rupa Goswami in Prayag. Chapter 20, Sanatan Siksha, Mahaprabhu's teachings to Shripad Sanatan Goswami in Varanasi. Manikarnika Ghat. How many have been that side? Manikarnika Ghat. Prayag, Varanasi. For those who have not been, you should. You definitely should. I have been just once in my life. I had heard a lot about Prayag and how holy and auspicious it is. In 2023, I had the good fortune of being there, seeing Manikarnika Ghat and Dashashwamedha Ghat, etc. It's a very wonderful place. Even though we preach the glories of Sri Vrindavan Dham, still it's a very important place for the Gaudiyas, because Mahaprabhu spent time and spoke extensively to Rupa and Sanatan in Prayag and Varanasi. So that is third, Sanatan Siksha, Mahaprabhu's teachings to Sanatan Goswami, Madhya Lila chapter 20. Then we have the pastime of Rath Yatra, the Rath Yatra Prasanga, where Mahaprabhu is dancing in the mood of Srimati Radharani, saying Jagannath. That's the fourth. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj would extensively speak on this. How Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj would say, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radharani in separation from Krishna, and Jagannath is Krishna in separation from Radharani. Why? Because who is Krishna? Who is Jagannath?
Krishna.
How does the whole pastime unfold? It is Krishna who is standing outside with Balramji and Subhadra. Subhadra is standing and Krishna and Balram come, and inside Rohini is speaking. What is she speaking? She's speaking Vrindavan Dham, and Krishna's ears pop up to hearing Vrindavan Dham, and it's hearing about Vrindavan, hearing about Srimati Radharani such that his eyes become dilated, his hands go inside, his legs go inside. So who is Jagannath? Jagannath is Krishna in separation from Sri Vrindavan Dham, or in basic terms, Krishna in separation from Sri Radhika is Jagannath. Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? It is Radharani now, in separation from Shyamasundar Sri Krishna. As Madhilila and Antilila progresses, we will find how Mahaprabhu is mad completely, thinking about Sri Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So now let's rephrase. When Mahaprabhu is seeing Jagannath during Rath Yatra, when we go for Rath Yatra, what do we see? Khichna hai. To pull the rope. But why are we doing it? The pulling of rope is not just a ritual. The pulling of rope is to signify that, my dear Jagannath, you as Dwarkadish, because it was Dwarka, you as Dwarkadish, you have stayed outside of Vrindavan for a very long time. It's time up. We are pulling you back to Sri Vrindavan Dham. Come back to Braj. That's one. Second, you're pulling him inside your heart. But when will he come inside your heart? When your heart is Vrindavan. When the heart is Vrindavan, that's when Prabhu Jagannath will come. Right? So Jagannath doesn't leave Vrindavan. In Jagannath Ashtakam also that we sing, we find the author is writing that who is Jagannath? He says Jagannath holds a flute. In the second verse he says Jagannath holds a flute, Jagannath has a peacock feather, which is nothing but Vrindavan Krishna. So who is Jagannath? Jagannath is basically Krishna in separation from Radhika. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radhika in separation from Krishna. And when both see each other during the Rath Yatra festival, Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj would say it was a festival of eyes. Netra Utsav. It was a festival of eyes. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj is written books just describing, he would say it was the eye-to-eye union of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Jagannath. In fact, even when Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj departed this world, he was asked this question. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj was asked that Gurudev, what was going on in the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he saw Jagannath? Why was he so ecstatic? What did Mahaprabhu realize? What was going on in his heart? Because when he would see Jagannath, he would incoherently speak. The speech was also not clear. Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Charitamrita explains, Mahaprabhu would see Jagannath and he would say jag ga 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 jag 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 ga ga ga. He was so ecstatic, he could not even complete Jagannath. That which we easily say Jagannath. Mahaprabhu was so ecstatic, he was saying jag 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 ga ga ga. And it was not dikhava. It was not that there were 10 YouTube lives going on and to show impress Mahaprabhu was doing that. The speech was so incoherent that he was saying Jagannath and tears were just flowing. Chaitanya Charitamrita explains from Mahaprabhu's eyes, tears were flowing like syringe and they were bathing all his associates. He was incessantly crying. So Gaur Govinda Maharaj was asked that, Gurudev, what was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu experiencing when he saw Jagannath? And Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj started answering. This was Mayapur on the appearance day of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, February 1996. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj in his room starts answering. The answer goes on and on and on and on. And Gaur Govinda Maharaj is just in so much trance that he's completely explaining so much. Doesn't matter whether the disciple is understanding or not. Gaur Govinda Maharaj in full trance was speaking, so much so that It's a very long narration. I wouldn't want to get into all of the details, but Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj left this world in the land of Mayapur on the appearance day of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, speaking about what Mahaprabhu experienced when he saw Jagannath face to face. That was what he was speaking. He was sitting on the Vyasasana and when the disciple asked, he started speaking. And as he was speaking, his body started heating up. So he unbuttoned. But he was still continuing. He was still going on. At one point when he felt, Gaur Govinda Maharaj felt he cannot continue, he said, Baba, Kirtan, Kirtan, Kirtan. Please continue with Kirtan. And he called his servant and said, please get me my Gopal. Because from childhood, Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj would worship Gopal deity. He would call Gopal Ju. Just like we have Madan Mohan Ji. In Odia, they say G-I-U, Ju. Gopal Ju. And now he was in Mayapur, deity is in Odisha. So they brought the photo. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj. Now look at the departure. We oftentimes say, departure is not in our hand. Pata nahi Prabhu ji kya hoga. Shayad Bhagavan ko smaran kare, shayad nahi kar paye. Look at Gaur Govinda Maharaj. Just like Bhishma Dev decided when he wants to leave. Ichha matra koila nija prana nishkraman. Bhishma Dev decided when he wants to leave, Uttarayan, he left that time. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj, when he felt the time is up, sitting on the Vyasasana, speaking about Mahaprabhu seeing Jagannath during the Rath Yatra Prasang in the land of Mayapur, on the appearance day of Saraswati Thakur, having the photo of Gopal in front of him. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj's last words were, Ha Gopal, and the head hung. Gaur Govinda Maharaj left this world on a Vyasasana. When was the last time you saw someone so dipped in Krishna consciousness, fully absorbed? It's not just saying Gopal, the photo was there in front of him, the mind is absorbed, and what is the mind absorbed? One of the life heirs of Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is the Rath Yatra Prasanga. That was Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj. How much ever we speak about him is less. Very Adbhut Sadhu. Very Adbhut Sadhu. So that's the fourth life here, the Rath Yatra. And fifth, the prayers of Shikshashtakam prayers, which you will find in the Ante Leela. So 4 of the 5 important topics are in Madhya Leela, and the 5th one is in Ante Leela. So what are the 5 life airs? Rai Ramananda Samvad, Mahaprabhu's conversation. Mahaprabhu's conversation with Ramananda Rai. Actually, we find it's very interesting that it is only with Ramananda Rai that Mahaprabhu doesn't speak. It is Ramananda Rai who speaks. If you see the language, it is Samvad. Samvad means a dialogue. But primarily it is Mahaprabhu asking question, Ramananda Rai answering. Bhagavan Swayam Prashna kar rahe hain, and Rai Ramananda, who is Vishaka Sakhi, is answering. But if you see with Rupa Goswami, what is it termed? Rup Siksha. Not Samvad. Siksha. Which is Mahaprabhu's teachings to Rupa Goswami. Sanatan Siksha. Mahaprabhu's teachings to Sanatan Goswami. But with Ramananda Rai, Rai Ramananda Samvad. Only with Ramananda Rai, Mahaprabhu goes to get his doubts clarified. Even God has doubts. How to perform bhakti? And Ramananda Rai answers. What Mahaprabhu hears from Ramananda Rai, Madhya Leela chapter 8, is what he goes and downloads to Rupa Goswami, Madhya Leela chapter 19. What Mahaprabhu speaks to Rupa Goswami is what Mahaprabhu has heard from Rai Ramananda. And the same thing he goes and gives to Sanatan Goswami. And the same thing he goes around giving to different people. But the origin for everything was Ramananda Rai. Mahaprabhu didn't go to South India for anything. He went only for one thing. South India Yatra was only to meet Ramananda Rai. Everything else was secondary. Meeting the South Indian Brahmana, going to this place, going to that place was all secondary. The only purpose of Mahaprabhu going to South India was meeting Ramananda Rai and getting his questions answered. Now there's a question that comes up here. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had questions. Mahaprabhu was there in Jagannath Puri. In Jagannath Puri, Swarup Damodar Goswami was there. Who is Swarup Damodar Goswami? Lalita Sakhi. Mahaprabhu could have asked all the questions to Swarup Damodar Goswami. Is it such that Swarup Damodar Goswami cannot answer? No. Lalita Sakhi. Swarup Damodar Goswami can definitely answer. Why is it that Mahaprabhu walks all the way to South India to meet Ramananda Rai? Because Shastra explains, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming down to taste the mood of Srimati Radharani. Right? Srimati Radharani, as far as the mood is concerned, from a mood standpoint, is very similar to Vishaka Sakhi. Now this is Siddhanta. From a mood standpoint, Radharani is very similar to Vishaka Sakhi. Why? Because Radharani appeared on the same, or Vishaka Sakhi appeared on the same day as Srimati Radharani. The day we celebrate Radha Ashtami is also the day of Vishaka Ashtami. Vishaka Sakhi also appeared on the same day. Both appear on the same day, both have the same astrological position. Both have similar likes, similar interests, similar disinterests, etc. But Lalita Sakhi, on the flip side, is very volatile in nature, is very strong. Lalita Sakhi can chastise Krishna. Vishaka Sakhi doesn't do it as much as Lalita Sakhi does it. So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to experience the mood of Srimati Radharani. Now if you want to experience someone's mood, you will naturally go to that person who's similar in the mood to whose mood you want to experience, right? Now Mahaprabhu could have gone to Swarup Damodar Goswami, but who is Swarup Damodar Goswami? Lalita Sakhi. And Lalita Sakhi's mood is called as Pragalpa. Pragalpa means very, very bold, very volatile. And Mahaprabhu, if he wants to experience Radha Bhav, Vishaka Sakhi aligns more to Srimati Radharani. But who is Vishaka Sakhi? Ramananda Rai. So Mahaprabhu, even though he could have gone to Swarup Damodar, who is already there in Jagannath Puri, Mahaprabhu walks all the way to South India to meet Ramananda Rai, who is Vishaka Sakhi. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is pretty deep as to why Mahaprabhu does what he does. We have some special sound effects.
Battery is about to die.
Oh, okay. So I should end the class soon.
No, I can.
So that's the fourth. So the first is Roop Siksha. So Ramananda Rai Sambad, Roop Siksha, Sanatan Siksha, Rath Yatra, and then the Siksha Ashtakam prayer. So those form the 5 life heirs of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, it's working. We will just read a little and then we will end. Lord Chaitanya accepted sannyas at the end of his 24th year in the Magh Mas, that is January and February, during the Shukla Paksha. Out of intense love for Krishna, he immediately started for Vrindavan to engage himself wholly and solely in the service of Mukunda. Mahaprabhu wanted to go to Vrindavan because it was a long-standing desire, so that he can engage himself in the service of Mukunda. My worshipful spiritual master Srila Radha Govinda Maharaj, he says, what does this word Mukunda mean? One meaning of Mukunda is Mukti Dadati Iti. He who gives liberation is Mukunda. But in Vrindavan, people don't go to Krishna for liberation. They liberate him from all the mischief that he does. Mother Yashoda ties him, Nanda Baba liberates him. So Krishna is not Mukunda in Vrindavan because he needs liberation from the Brajavasis. Even Krishna's friends, they think, Krishna, what kind of... We will liberate you. We are more powerful than you. So Mukti Dadati Iti, he who gives liberation is Mukunda, but that's outside of Vrindavan. That's Vaikuntha. Vishnu gives liberation. But our Shyamasundar Shri Krishna, he is also called Mukunda. So what is the Braj understanding? My Guru Maharaj was saying this. He said, the word Mu stands for Mukham, mouth. And Kunda stands for Kunda flowers. In Braj, you have Kunda flowers. They are small and they're white in complexion. So Krishna in Braj is called Mukunda because Mother Yashoda would tell him Krishna, when Krishna was very small, when Krishna had milk teeth and the milk teeth would fall and permanent teeth would come, they're very small. So Mother Yashoda would tell Krishna, Krishna, open your mouth, and Krishna would open. And Mother Yashoda would count 1, 2, 3, then this 4. So 2 hanging here, 2 hanging on the top, 2 hanging down, 2 hanging this side. So सब मिला के एक 4-5 दांत है भगवान के. But in Braj he's called Mukunda because when Maya Yashoda sees the Mukham, the teeth of Krishna are like white Kunda flowers. They're like buds. They're like whitish Kunda flowers. So in Braj he's called Mukunda because Maya sees the mouth and the teeth are small. And as Maya Yashoda is counting 1, 2, 3, Krishna yawns. Right? Because children, if you open the mouth too much, then muscle memory such you end up yawning. Which naturally in Katha we do. Naturally in Katha, when the Katha is going long, we end up yawning. So Mother Yashoda counts different teeth. He's called Mukunda. So outside of Vrindavan, he is Mukti Dadati Iti. He gives liberation. In the land of Vrindavan, no one goes to Krishna for liberation because he needs liberation. So in Vrindavan, every name of Krishna is connected to sweetness. Mukunda Murdra Pranipatte Yache Bhavantam Ekantam Iyantam Artam Avismriti Stva Charanara Vinde Bhave Bhave Mestu Bhavat Prasada. In the Mukunda Mala Stotra of King Kulashekara, or in the south they say Kulashekara Alvar. Just like we have the Goswamis, in south we have the Alvars. Very revered, very elevated. We have Rupa, Sanatan, Jiva Goswami, etc. In the south we would have heard. One famous name is Andal. We have heard Andal, for whom Vishnu comes out and puts the garland and takes her. When was the last time you saw the deity come out and marry someone? Andal. Very glorious. Similarly, we have King Kulashekara or Kulashekara Alvar. And he wrote the Mukunda Mala Stotra. And in that, in the 3rd verse, he writes, Mukunda Murdna Pranipatte Yache Bhavantame Kantamiyantamartam Avismritistva Charanara Vinde Bhave Bhave Mestu Bhavat Prasadat. He says, Mukunda Murdna Pranipatte Yache. My dear Mukunda, offering my head to you. Mukunda Murdna Pranipatti Yache. I am just begging you, I am requesting. What am I requesting? Bhavantam Ekantam Iyantam Artham. Only one request. If you think I have done anything good and pleased you, my dear Mukunda, I have only one request. What is that request? Avismriti Stvat Charanara Vinde. My dear Lord, may I never forget your lotus feet. आपके जो चरण कमल है इसकी कभी अविस्मृति ना हो. May I forget everything else, that is okay. But my dear Krishna, may I never forget your lotus feet. May I never forget you, and may I never forget your lotus feet. And this is a prayer not just for this lifetime. Bhave bhave mestu bhavat prasadat. In my dear Lord, whichever lifetime I take, may I never forget you and may I never forget your lotus feet. O Mukunda. So Kulashekara Alvar, like this, he writes more than 50 verses glorifying Mukunda. And our Srila Prabhupada was so addicted to Mukunda Mala Stotra that one of the first books that he even started translating was the Mukunda Mala Stotra, even before Srimad Bhagavatam. And Prabhupada was there in Radha Damodar Mandir. The first 6 verses Prabhupada translated of Mukunda Mala Stotra. And then Prabhupada felt that Bhagavatam no one has done. So Prabhupada put a pause to Mukunda Mala Stotra and went to Bhagavatam. And did the first 9 cantos, and of the 10th canto, the first 13 to 14 chapters. Then Prabhupada felt no one has done Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhupada put a pause to that, went to Chaitanya Charitamrita, finished the Chaitanya Charitamrita. By the time he could come back to Bhagavatam, Prabhupada left this world. So the first 6 verses of Mukunda Mala Stotra were personally handwritten by Prabhupada, and later they were done by his disciples. So here also we find Kaviraj Goswami is addressing Krishna as Mukunda. But Mahaprabhu is going to Vrindavan to remember Mukunda. So here the Mukunda doesn't mean Mukti Dadati iti. Here the Mukunda means he, when Maya opens the mouth, his teeth are small, whitish like the Kunda flowers. So we will stop here and we will continue in our next class. Gaura Premanande. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai.
Next week.
Huh?
Next week, Prabhu.
Yeah. Whatever Krishna has in plan. But yeah, hopefully. Anything we want to share? Anything we heard? Any bodhayanta parasparam?
Prabhu, I have one. Like you said that in the very beginning, you said that when the life punches you, then whatever comes out of it, like, so if bhakti is there, then only there will be bhakti when life punches you. But sometimes bhakti starts when life punches you. Most of the time, I guess bhakti starts like that. Otherwise, we don't remember Krishna before we get into any storms, isn't it?
Very true. Again, cannot be a generic statement because there are many in this world, when life punches them, they become atheistic. Yadi Bhagwan hai to ye kyun hua? You find that kind of people also. So if life punched you and you turn towards Krishna, by nature you're sattvic. That's why you felt I should go to God. But the whole world is not like that. Most people that we find are of the opinion that yadi Bhagwan hai to ye aisa kyun hua? Why do bad things happen to good people? So if you are turning towards Krishna, it is very glorious. But it doesn't happen for everyone. Never. It will never happen for everyone. It takes lifetimes of piety to come to Krishna consciousness. Actually, it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam glorification, it says, Janmantare kritam punyam tada Bhagavatam labhet. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahima explains that Janmantare kritam punyam. Janma antare kritam punyam. After many lives of accumulating pious credit, tada Bhagavatam labhet. Only then Bhagavatam walks into your life. So the Bhagavatam on Bhadra Purnima that we get, it's not something that we pay through $100, $150, etc. That is external. There are so many in Seattle area and Bothell or whatever. How many of them have Bhagavatam in their home? And how many have even heard the name Bhagavatam? What to speak of flipping through the pages? Janmantare Kritam Punyam. After lifetimes of pious credit, one gets Bhagavatam. Another place it's written, after worshipping Vishnu for at least 100 lifetimes, one gets the worship of Krishna in their life. So worshipping Krishna in Vrindavan, not everyone's cup of tea. Because most people cannot accept Krishna of Vrindavan is Bhagavan. People can accept Dwarkadish. People can accept Maryada Purushottam Ramachandra. But Krishna Vrindavan, how is he Bhagavan? He lies, steals, cheats, etc. So worshipping Krishna of Vrindavan in Braj Ras, Braj ki upasana karna, ये सबकी बस की बात नहीं. It comes after many lifetimes. It is one by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and two, it is by the mercy of the devotees. But again, there are so many people who may come for a Sunday feast, but how many of them translate into maybe getting initiated or even picking up the beach? Not many. There may be quite a few, of course not 100%, but at least maybe 20% who come and just darshan varshan karte hai. They may not even bow down, they may just do like this. You may find that category also. They will do like this and they'll go down and eat honor prasadam. If you are from Maharashtra, in Maharashtra, for those who are Maharashtrians or have been in Mumbai, Pune, etc., any Maharashtrians here? Marathi. Huh. So you would know. In Maharashtra, nothing against the Marathis or anything. It's just something, I've been in Mumbai for like 20 years. I have seen that. So one way of offering obeisances is proper obeisance. Men means Dandavat, female means Panchanga. Another is from behind, you do like this. In Maharashtra, there is a very unique thing I saw. If suppose you're going, you understood what I'm going to say. If you're going in a bus or you're going in a train, and if there's a temple, now train se kaise danda darpan kare? Not possible. You're in the bus, how will you do? They do something little different. You know I'm not lying because Mataji is Sakshi. You have seen? See, one more. You have not seen? No. Oh, there's a kiss also, right? They do a kiss also. It will be like this. Those who have not seen it are bewildered. They're looking at me. Kya chal raha hai? So from bus, if you're going in temple, is there you'll do? And it's very normal. Like if you are bewildered, it's your problem. If you are bewildered, that's your problem. But in Maharashtra, that's how it is.
But it's common in North also.
Oh, in North also?
And even if we are driving, if we are driving a scooter or scooty, temple to will horn just to give a obeisance. It's very common. No problem. हमारे horn बजा देते थे.
I remember once in Kolkata, this Kolkata we were in the temple. We were just getting out of the temple at the temple door, and there's this guy who comes on his bike, and this is Hanumanji's symbol. Baba, Ram Ram.
Something to give obeisances because.
वहाँ तो एटलीस्ट राम राम बोल दिया.
और ऐसे ही बाइक पे बैठे बाबा.
I remember when I saw this, because everyone does it. It's like very common. Youth, adults, male, female, everyone. Like it is Samadarsha. So everyone does this. And there is some little kissing also. So it is straight Madhuri Ras. Even Rupa Goswami will be thinking, I wrote Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. This form of obeisance I didn't write. If you go to that side, you will see it. So they have seen it, so they know I'm not making it up. It's there. Mumbai, Pune, any of that side.
Not only temples, Prabhuji, when we have the light on in the evenings, we do this. So after marriage, my husband was shocked. Like, why do you do this when you put the light on in the evening? But you know, that's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, if you're seeing it first time, you will be a little bewildered. But बाद में आदत लग जाएगा. You will get used. Then in some time, you will also do like this. So again, back to the point that Krishna consciousness or turning towards Krishna is not everyone's cup of tea. For some people, maybe like you had good piety in the past and somehow Krishna made sure that you come to the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but not everyone would go. Most people would turn away. There are so many we have heard that when life punches them, they take towards alcohol to forget everything. Right? They take towards intoxication. Pretty common around the world. But we are extremists. When we get punched, we come towards Krishna and leave alcohol, leave smoking, leave meat, leave eggs, leave onion garlic. अरे टी कॉफी भी नहीं पीते. क्या करते हो प्रभु जी? ना टी कॉफी, ना onion garlic. The way we get looked as if like we are losing something in life. Maybe fine, it's maybe starting 1 week, 2 weeks, maybe a month. It seems little challenging, but after that it just becomes pretty normal. So, may not be a blanket statement like that. Anything else anyone wants to share? Doesn't have to be a question. Anything that you have heard, you want to share, should be fine. Yes.
I had one question. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to ask to Saru Damodar because he carries same mood as Radharani. But he can
Ramananda Rai.
He does not want to.
Oh yeah, sorry. Ramananda. But he can ask directly to Gadadhar Pandit, right? Who is Radharani
himself.
He can ask to Gadadhar Pandit. He does that, but he will do that much later. Gadadhar Pandit is Srimati Radharani, and Mahaprabhu goes the route wherein in the pretext of preaching, he goes to Ramananda Rai to first get his Siddhanta clarified. As a devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Bhagavan but is practically following the path of a devotee, wherein first Bhagavan, matlab, he would not accept, he would be rebellious, he would debate, etc. Then he meets a Guru Dev, then life transforms. Very similar to what we can relate. Then he meets devotees, advanced devotees like Ramananda Rai. Then he can start resonating. Once he understands Siddhanta, to elevate it to the next level, Gadadhar Pandit comes. So the art of helping Mahaprabhu cry was given by Gadadhar Pandit. Bhagavan ke liye rona kaisa hai. But how to experience the mood of Radharani, what is bhakti, how to preach, what are the principles of Krishna consciousness, etc., was given by Ramananda Rai. So Ramananda Rai was like the foundation in Mahaprabhu's life, as far as Siddhanta is concerned. Like when we were coming in the car, we were hearing Braj Bihari Prabhu, and he was quoting this word, Siddhanta boliye chitte nakara alas, yahoite Krishna lage sudrida manas. Chaitanya Charitamrita explains, Siddhanta boliye chitte nakara alas. When Siddhanta is spoken, one should not be alas, alsi. Yahoite Krishna lage sudrida manas. By hearing Siddhanta about Krishna, the heart becomes fixed up in Krishna consciousness. So Leela Katha is good, but it should be backed up with Siddhanta. So Mahaprabhu gets initiated to learn Siddhanta, goes to Raya Ramananda, and then to augment it, he goes to Gadadhar Pandit in Antilila. So, like that.
I heard about this Ramananda Rai Samvada because Ramananda Rai is also the expansion of like Arjuna, the element of.
Yeah.
So in Krishna Leela, when Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, and here in Chaitanya Leela, Arjuna is speaking to Krishna.
Correct.
That's also one flavor.
He's taking
Correct.
test.
Very true.
Whether you understood.
Huh?
He's taking test recap.
But this is very deep topic.
This is very deep.
Even more
It's a deep
deeper.
recap. Very true. Because there Krishna spoke to Arjuna.
The principles that I taught you, can you apply that?
Who was Narottam Das? Is he a Manjari or is a Sakhi, Gopi?
Manjaris.
Sakhi.
Our whole sampradaya are all Manjaris. Our whole sampradaya are all Manjaris. Servants, maid servants of Radharani. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, I just had a question. I mean, you were mentioning like when we do hundreds of years of pious activity and by earning those credits, that's how we come under the shelter of Srimati Radharani. So in that case, like, agreed, I must have done some good thing, which is why she brought me here, where I'm here listening to classes. But the more I'm listening, hearing, the more I feel like I'm going downwards. I feel like there is a clear glass where I can see how much ego I have. Earlier, before coming into bhakti, I wasn't aware of all of these things that I had in me, kind of. So now it's getting more clear, transparent kind of thing. And by so much mercy, even if I don't know, is it undue advantage every time I seek for mercy and every time I keep going on the same route, hearing something but doing other way, the way what is not said, kind of. I know I have my own sanskar and things going on, and how much more mercy shall I seek every day, every time, and only dependent on mercy, mercy and mercy, kind of. Where is my own desire? Where is my khud ka action, kind of thing.
So both are required. We see Daya Karo Sitapati Advaita Gosai. We need the mercy of the Lord also, but we have to put endeavor also. One without the other is incomplete. Mother Yashoda, she put endeavor to bind Lala, to bind Krishna. But it's only when Krishna showered mercy was she able to be successful in her endeavor. Sanatana Goswami says we have 2 fingers. So the rope was 2 fingers too short. The first finger denotes Mother Yashoda's endeavor. And the second finger denotes Krishna's dispensation of mercy. Of the 2 fingers we find, the middle finger is always longer than the index finger. which means how much ever endeavor you put, Krishna's mercy can go one notch higher to uplift you. हम कितने भी पतित क्यों ना हो, Gauranga and Nityananda can go one step ahead to uplift us, but at the same time there has to be endeavor. Hearing of Krishna Katha should also result in action. Like we give this example. Like for example, if there's maybe a table, and I say, if I tell Sia, I say, Sia, can you pick the table from here and keep it there? And then she hears and she says, wow, very nice. I say, okay, Sia, but can you pick up the table and keep it there? Very nice, Prabhuji. Very nice. Maja aa gaya. I say, okay, Sia, can you please pick it up and keep it there? Now, what is Sia not doing? She's hearing it, but she's not putting it into action. And because she's not putting it into action, how much ever she's hearing, she'll not be able to progress ahead. The completion of her hearing is when she picks up the table from A and keeps it to point B. Similarly, Krishna Katha, when we say, wonderful class, Prabhuji, maja aa gaya. Good. But if you're not putting into action, it's like Sia hearing it and not doing it. Just an example. Nothing against her, just an example.
She just did like Madhav did.
हाँ?
Just like Madhav was.
एक वही सेम एग्जांपल अपने माधव के लिए
अच्छा नहीं मैं बस एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ किसी बच्चे के खिलाफ मेरा कुछ भी नहीं है it is just a normal example. So there has to be endeavor and Krishna's mercy will flow. Krishna clearly says that if you take a step, I take 10 steps, or you take 10 steps, I take 100 steps. But we have to show Krishna that I am really interested in you. I really want to come back to you. So there has to be some endeavor, and that endeavor has to come from within. We can hear many number of classes and many number of motivational talks, which is good, which will inspire us, but the action we have to only do. एक दूसरे के लिए हम नहीं कर सकते, right? If chanting is there, if we see in Krishna consciousness, any other service others can do. Pot washing others can do for us. Deity worship others can do for us. Cooking others can do for us. Mandira marjanam others can do for us. There is only one activity others can do for us, that is chanting. That's the only activity. So some things we have to buckle up and we have to do. यदि हम नहीं करेंगे तो हमारे लिए और कोई नहीं करेगा. We may hear many classes, we may get motivated, but for that motivation to last, we have to just work on ourselves. Like we may have classes maybe every Friday, but what are we doing? But what are we doing throughout the week? The inspiration that probably we get on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, the fizz is completely gone by a Monday morning. The moment Monday morning we are on a morning scrum, whatever, sprint. Then Krishna Katha also sprints from our head. Stand up, yes, morning 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, stand up, bhul jate. Let's be honest, we forget everything. So to keep ourselves in touch with the philosophy, we have to keep hearing, not just on a Friday, Saturday, or a Sunday. One devotee was recently sharing this. I recently heard, I don't know someone told me, or I read somewhere, I'm not able to remember. So that devotee was saying, I liked it very much. He said, he or she, yeah, maybe he or she, I don't exactly remember. So something on the lines of, they said they live in India, and in the morning to commute to work it takes 1 hour. So that devotee said, when I go in the morning, I hear one class of Prabhupada or Guru there. That 1 hour I hear. And then office jate hi, I forget everything because so much work, this, that, sab bhul jate. So he said, in the evening when I'm coming back, I again hear the same class. To remind myself where I started the day, reminding myself again that I'm back to my Krishna consciousness. So he said, I start my day by hearing Prabhupada or Gurudev, and then when I come back, I'm hearing again my Gurudev or Prabhupada, and then the day ends well. So I start my day with one class, that same class I hear even in the evening. So every day one class like that. Same class again and again. Its stories are not going to be different. It's the same Damodar Leela. is the same Chaitanya Charitamrita. We have to just find inspiration ourselves, and Krishna will give that if there is endeavor. Krishna will give it. There has to be some little endeavor from our side as to how we can do it.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Anything else? One last? Or should we do Kirtan? Kirtan? Yes. We'll do 5 minutes Kirtan.
इसमें दूसरे बात हो गया बैटरी देखो ठीक लगेगी क्या
चबाओ इसको बैटरी को चलेगा एक और महाराष्ट्रियन
Yeah, it works. Oh.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Hare,
Hare
Jai Krishna